I'm leaving now.
Lucy, my sweet.
I cleaned out the tiger cage and sorted all the meal bins. So, if it's all right, it's my turn to fix dinner.
Haven't you forgotten something, little one? Just one little thing.
Mr. Runser, please.
It's been a very long day.
I don't want to.
Now, Lucy, I thought we'd settled this last week. Don't let's forget who pays your salary. We're closed. Come back tomorrow. Wait, I haven't finished with you. I told you we're closed.
We're not here to buy, little man. We've come to sell.
You can't possibly have anything to interest me. These are extremely rare animals of the highest quality.
What a coincidence. So am I. That is the price for humanity.
Oh, please, don't.
And what else might we interest you in today, sir? Perhaps some virtue?
Not my animals, please. I'm begging you.
But what of honor, little man? At what price? Honor.
Oh, my God, no. That tiger is the rarest specimen ever seen.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright. The forest of the night.
VR 61661, report to precinct headquarters, code 3, repeat code 3.
I was just finishing up my 12 out on patrol when I got the call. Welcome relief, considering that the most action I'd seen all night was a schizoid grandmother doing the shimmy in her underwear in the 2nd sector.
VR 61661, report to division headquarters, code 3, repeat code 3.
Last time I had a 3 was when some hooker vomited Thunderbird on Bryant's desk, and yours truly led the cleanup crew. Year and a half on the job, it was still the dirtiest work I'd seen. Where's Captain Bryant?
Took a sick day. Got himself a heinous case of ptomaine poisoning. He asked me personally to run the unit in his absence.
Gouza was one of the old-time guys who took their knocks in the streets. He had a friendly way about him, but you didn't want to turn your back on him if you were less than a friend.
Hope you've been enjoying your leisure time, kid, because it's time to take that thumb out of your ass.
Hallelujah.
Don't get too excited. The other Blade Runners are all jammed up. Holden's sucking dinner through a straw. Gaff's working the Tyrell break-in, and Steele's working special undercover. Looks like you got this one by default.
You really know how to make a girl feel wanted.
Animal murder done at Runciter Zoological. Probably just be a schizoid glitz, but we got the call. Old man Runciter lost something like 1 billion chinions worth.
10 to 1, this ain't a job for Rep Detect.
You got something better to do? Perfect your French cooking, maybe?
Slumming tonight, Slim?
I thought you were on special assignment.
Wasn't too damn special after I had the suckers out.
What happened?
Couple of fours were masquerading as fibroplast insulators down at Kaiser. I dressed up like a nurse. They never had a chance.
I'll bet. You put them on the machine?
Hell no. There's a beautiful little thing in here called the magic, and it ain't ever been wrong. You develop it, you got a brilliant career ahead of you.
I'm working on it.
What's Gouza got you doing tonight?
AM at Runciter's.
Animal murder. Oh, those skin jobs got no respect for anything that truly lives and breathes. And that goddamn Eldon Tyrell ought to be zipped into a body bag and flushed into deep space.
Get rid of him, we'd be out of a job.
I think we're all overdue for a little off-world paid vacation. You can stop staring at my ass now.
You got eyes in the back of your head?
All you gotta do is ask, Slim.
Animal sales was a profitable and prestigious business since most real animals had died out after the Terran War. There were plenty of electric ones, though, powered by rechargeable batteries. No self-respecting human would own one of those frauds.
Este es Blade Runner. Apareció por ahí de los 90. Publicitado por Westwood Studios. Y he visto que hay en Steam esta versión que es el Enhanced. Así que esta noche, campesinos, vamos a jugar Blade Runner.
Canvass the area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it.
Canvass the area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it.
What do you know?
About 30 counts of animal murder and one of aggravated assault. The shop's been thrashed. You ought to see this tiger cub they got in there. It's a goddamn tragedy.
How's old man Runsiter holding up?
State of shock. He's been moaning and complaining about his world caving in.
You'd feel the same way if they were your animals. How many perps?
At least 2. Bloody footprints all over the scene.
Must be a delightful sight. Canvass the area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it. Find something?
Piece of chrome.
From a car?
No, I think it's horse chrome. Bag it and tag it. Scratches and paint flecks, and I knew what they meant. Unless the city had bought a jet black fire truck, somebody had a big fat traffic ticket coming. Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was going to root through trash, my expectations weren't too high. Canvass the area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it. I already checked for a crowbar, some kind of tool. No luck, but it looks like we've got some latents.
Make sure the lab boys run them through the mainframe, human and rep.
I already checked for about 30 counts of animal murder and one of aggravated assault.
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for 2 very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even. Quite a pair. McCoy, LPD.
I'm absolutely certain Lucy Devlin was involved in this heinous act. She's the young girl who works for me.
She's responsible for all this mayhem?
No, of course not. It was two men acting in concert with her, obviously.
Obviously. What'd they look like?
Big and scary and absolutely malevolent.
Tell me about this Lucy.
There's not a lot I can tell you. She's only worked for me for about a month. She's about 14 years old with pink hair. A very attractive young thing.
How'd you find her?
She came to me with a reference from Ogilvy's in the Northwest Zone. And he's a very reputable wholesaler.
You treat her well?
As well as any young tot should be treated.
She got a desk? Or someplace where she worked?
She used to eat over there. I'm ruined. Totally ruined.
Big caliber, possibly off-world combat weaponry. Ballistics might give me a fix on it.
My precious one. She was my baby.
You got any discs from that camera?
It's irrelevant. Those murderers also destroyed the camera. Thousands of chinyens worth.
Maybe it photographed them before they shot it out.
I guess you've got a point at that. I believe this is the disc from last night.
Peachy.
My precious one. She was my baby. I'm ruined. Totally ruined.
A candy bar. Yuck. Howie Lee's in Chinatown. I'd eaten there myself. Well, isn't that cute? A toy dog. Well, isn't that cute?
My precious one. She was my baby.
Can you think of anything they might have been after?
First, I thought they wanted money, but I don't keep any in the shop. Then I thought they wanted to steal my animals, but they started executing them.
Could they have been replicants?
Who else would be capable of such barbaric acts?
You ever do any business with the replicant manufacturers, Tyrell Corporation?
I resent that accusation.
Just wondering.
Officer, last May I personally sold Governor Colvig an exquisite Bergeron colt. I have been a guest at his house on 3 separate occasions. Do I look like I need to carry artificial product? All my animals.
See if you can dig up that reference from Ogilvy's.
Yes, it's somewhere here. Just a moment. Here you are.
Stick around. I may not be finished with you.
I'm ruined. Totally ruined.
It didn't add up. Animal murders, the lack of any theft, the small animals alone were worth a good chunk of change on the street. It seemed more like an act of vengeance. Find anything else out here?
Zilcho. Row actions inside. Abstract art. All over the walls and ceiling.
I never did appreciate art. Canvass the area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it.
Interesting. Interesting. Real sushi was a luxury reserved only for the elite, since most sea life had become radioactive after the Third Terran War. The rest of us had to eat new sushi, soya mixed with off-world lichen. Does this badge mean anything to you? You got anything that's a match for these? Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for two very big men. One dressed
About 30 counts of animal murder and one of aggravated assault.
big caliber, possibly off-world combat weaponry. Ballistics might give me a fix on it. Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for two very...
About 30 counts of animal murder and one of aggravated assault.
Howie Lee's in Chinatown. I'd eaten there myself.
She came to me with a reference from Ogilvy's in the Northwest Zone, and he's a very reputable wholesaler. I'm absolutely certain Lucy Devlin was involved in this heinous act. She's the young girl who works for me.
She's responsible for all this mayhem?
I'm absolutely certain. There's not a lot I can tell you. She's only worked for me.
Howie Lee's in Chinatown. I'd eaten there myself. McCoy, LPD. I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Sorry, my man. I just don't got the time.
Hey, big guy.
Busy. No time for talk. McCoy, itazura suru na. You want something, you talk to me.
Sorry, Howie.
Got to mix more out back.
Beautiful night, isn't it?
When business thriving, night always beautiful.
How long has that chef worked for you?
Zubin, just month. Superior chef makes all kinds of new sushi.
This from your place, isn't it?
Could be. Chopstick come from Yoshi's restaurant supply.
What's real fresh tonight?
Special shipment of Toro just arrived. I fix you right up. No one else. Clean as a whistle.
You're Prince, Howie. You got anything that's a match for these? See you later, Howie. Howie says you're a master chef.
You not come back here. Air bad.
This'll only take a minute. I'm looking for a girl, about 14 years old with pink hair. You seen her?
I don't know her.
Hijo de perra.
A big guy run past here?
Hey, maybe spare some chinion? Thanks. The big man, he kinda limping. That away.
Hey, Pop. Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was gonna root through trash, my expectations weren't too high. How long has that chef worked for you?
Zubin, just month. Superior chef makes all kinds of new sushi.
Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was gonna root through trash, my expectations weren't too high. Locked. Locked. Locked.
Se me peló la liebre.
Locked. Totally uninteresting. Totally uninteresting. Totally uninteresting. Totally uninteresting. Totally uninteresting. Yuck. Totally uninteresting. Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was going to root through trash, my expectations weren't too high. Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was going to root through...
¿Dónde contrataste a ese sujeto?
See you later, Howie.
Laboratory, mainframe, and shooting range. Ground floor. Roof. Laboratory.
Got anything new for me, Dino?
I was wondering when you'd show your mug around here, McCoy. The shell casings from Runciter should be in the Museum of Military History.
How's that?
They're from an Ender rifle. It's standard issue off-world military hardware. Heavy caliber. That puppy can punch right through a tank.
What can I conclude from that?
Whoever used this piece didn't just walk into their local sporting goods store and buy it. Those babies are collectibles, and they ain't cheap.
Anything else?
We got the animal corpses from Runcitors, but there wasn't a whole lot to work with.
Bone marrow?
About 50% were real, the rest were fakes.
So, Runciter was ripping his customers off.
State-of-the-art fakes. Miles beyond the crap you see on Anamoid Row.
The kind that comes from legit manufacturers?
And they're the ones that usually produce the quality.
What about the wounds?
Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at some others. Sloppy cuts with a knife, like the perp was really pissed off at something.
Butcher knife?
Could be, but who cuts meat anymore?
Nice bunch of reps I'm tailing. Hope you're not pulling a meat cleaver out of my back next week. Anything else?
That black paint you found on the fire hydrant? It's from a ground car.
You sure?
The angle of impact was almost head-on. And there ain't too many spinning drivers klutzy enough to smack a street-level hydrant in VTOL mode.
I heard your wife got her license back.
You're a real funny guy, McCoy.
Anything else?
That piece of chrome you found outside of Runcitors is from a 1995 Pontiac.
Nice set of wheels.
It's okay, not what I call a classic.
Anything else?
Zip, man. Try me later.
Lockup. Laboratory. Mainframe and shooting range. Ground floor. Mainframe and lockup. Mainframe and shooting range.
Violent street crime in the city rose again last year by a whopping 26%, according to the latest figures from the Department of Justice. Governor Kolvig attributed the change to the dramatic increase in the number of specials registered as city residents and promised a tough new set of standards for the City Immigration Bureau by next month.
Old copies of case files, notices, and memos. The usual station junk. Old copies of case files, Lucky Strikes. Crystal's brand. I knew she was spending a lot of time in the training maze these days, even though she'd already gotten close to a perfect score. Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was gonna root through trash...
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete. Uploading download clue scanning video disk. 2 enhanceable images found. Adding enhanceable photographs to Kaya database. Runciter crime scene.
A sushi menu from Howie Lee's. Give me a hard copy of that.
Estoy tratando de encontrar algún reflejo. Que aquí está la morra. Pero no se le puede ver el rostro.
Run sitter crime scene.
A black ground car. Looks like it's been around the block a few times. Give me a hard copy of that. He looks familiar. Give me a hard copy of that.
Gotcha. Ok, aquí puede ser el reflejo de... Más atrás. Bueno, un momento. Esta madre. No. Esperaba ver en el reflejo de esto el rostro de la chamaca.
About 30 counts of animal...
The shell casings from Runciter should...
Judging from the...
I already...
Well, if it ain't Ray McCoy, Bryant finally letting you play with the big boys.
My clearance come through?
You bet. You bring your piece?
Don't leave home without it.
Steele's been running the maze every other day for 2 weeks, and the targets are getting a little roughed up.
I thought Gouza was going to requisition some new ones.
I ain't seen him down here in a month. Guess he's been busy.
Poor guy. I bet he gets all tuckered out from pushing those papers around.
And don't sell him short, McCoy. Gouza could be one tough hombre. I remember when we worked mice together. He poured acetone on 2 pimps that gave us some lip and lit a match. I'll tell you, it looked like the goddamn 4th of July out there.
Peachy. You keeping busy, pal?
Nah, the place has been pretty quiet the last couple of days.
You keeping...
Nah,
Hit the lock, Jack.
I guess there ain't no harm in it.
Target and shoot all threats. Do not shoot innocents. Confirm target as hostile before shooting. Completed sequence. Proceed to next station.
Faltó el anciano, faltó la mujer.
Completed sequence. Proceed to next station. Completed sequence. Proceed to next station. Completed all sequences. Proceed to exit.
Lucky strikes. Crystal's brand. I knew she was spending a lot of time in the training maze these days, even though she'd already... Old copies of case files, no...
¿Dónde estaba el marcador?
You keeping busy, pal?
Nah, the place has been pretty quiet.
Nothing even remotely interesting. I was gonna...
Deckard 10. El legendario Deckard.
Laboratory. Ground floor. Mainframe and shooting range. Ground floor.
Bryant go on permanent leave and you get full use of the office, Lieutenant?
You know the procedure. Dump it all in the mainframe upstairs and I'll read it later.
You got it. Sorry to bother you, Lieutenant. I was just checking in.
We'll get back out there. Those reps ain't retiring themselves.
Yeah, suicidal targets would make my job a lot easier.
Everybody's got a job, kid.
Sorry to bother you, Lieutenant. I was just checking in.
Well,
yeah,
everybody...
Hey, pal. What do you know?
Zero that would interest you, Detective.
Hey, pal. Hey, pal. What do you know?
Zero that would...
Are they letting me out?
I'm not the one who makes that decision.
I suppose it's my turn to bear the cross for the cause.
You're Spencer Gregorian, right?
No. I really think my lawyer should be here.
I got some more questions for you. Lot of people involved in your cause, Spencer?
Yes, sir, we're growing fast. As more and more people realize that replicants have cognitive and emotional legitimacy, the Citizens Against Replicant Slavery will spearhead the movement towards...
Save the pitch for someone who gives a shit.
We're peaceful people, Detective. We live by a code that men like you could never understand.
Try me.
2 centuries ago, humans were held in slavery. Brave souls formed an underground railroad.
So, you help replicants escape the city.
I'm talking figuratively, Detective.
Sure you are.
We're not children, Detective. We have resources. The world is changing. People are waking up to the injustices perpetrated by a sick society that you have helped...
A lot of them will wake up dead if reps are allowed to run amok on Terra, jerk. I got some more questions for you. Tell me about your protest at Tyrell's plant.
I already told that other detective everything. Under duress.
I want to know about the people who were there. The Rastafarian and the Asian guy with the sunglasses.
I didn't know the Rastafarian. The Asian fellow was one of our ex-members. Izo was his name.
How long did you know him for?
Let's see. I met him about 5 years ago. He seemed so smart and balanced. He really wanted to help the replicant people.
Then what?
He started associating with the more militant factions. I was astounded when I heard he was supplying weapons to some of them.
What kind of weapons?
Guns so new that even the police had hardly used them, I heard.
I'm gonna give you a little test.
The other detective, she already tested me earlier today.
Uh-huh. Look, I gotta check out the equipment, and you're the only stiff around.
I object to this treatment. If you'll just call my lawyer, he'll take care...
Your lawyer would tell you I got the authority to VK the mayor if I want. And he'd have to smile and nod and kiss my butt until I cleared him. So sit down. Reaction time is a factor in this, so please pay attention. Where do you live?
3rd sector, uptown.
Nice neighborhood?
Very. Is this going to take long?
Just keep your pants on, Spencer. What do you do for a living?
I teach political science.
A man dressed in rags approaches you on the street and asks for money.
I tried to help him, of course. Buy him dinner or take him to a shelter.
You're crying. Why is that?
Crying? It's nothing to be ashamed of. I might cry for any number of reasons.
I'll bet. Your child comes home with a black eye.
I'd call the school.
Are you taking any drugs?
No. How does your machine work? Is it a lie detector?
Not exactly. Your verbal responses aren't what's important. Why? You got something to hide, Spencer?
Absolutely not.
You're at a restaurant with friends. One of them orders lobster. The chef drops the lobster into the tub of boiling water while you watch.
Are you trying to make me sick?
Describe in single words only the good things that come into your mind about your mother.
Patient, brave, loving.
Using the first words that come into your mind, describe your childhood.
Safe, protected, loved.
Like my briefcase? Department issue. Baby hide. 100% genuine human baby hide.
Appropriate. For a killer.
You rent a mountain cabin. On the walls, someone has hung old maps and Currier and Ives prints. A deer's head is mounted above the fireplace. A full stag with developed horns.
I'd leave.
You suddenly feel the urge to commit suicide.
I love life too much to commit suicide. You wouldn't know about that, would you?
Test terminated.
You keeping busy, pal?
Please leave me alone. My migraine's acting up.
Lockup. Roof.
I've gotten all I can from that.
Joder. Parece que retiré a un degenerado.
Rumor has it you've been earning your stripes, McCoy.
Working on it.
Keep it up. You just might have a future in this business.
I understand it's got a hell of a retirement plan.
You VK the mark before retirement?
Didn't have to.
That's why they call it the magic.
I'm starting to understand.
You ever retire a human, your career is over. Remember that. I checked with UN Air. Looks your rep swung that moonbus massacre last month.
They ever find the moon bus?
Disappeared into thin air. Brian thinks it crashed out in the Kipple.
How many reps we talking about?
Enough. They're Nexus 6s. So don't take too much slack.
Gotcha. Yuck. Yuck.
Your floor number, please.
Apartments, ground floor. Roof. Apartments.
McCoy, 88F.
88. Thank you.
I lived with the best gal I'd ever seen. She was 2 now and full of life and love. She'd cost me about a year's salary, but she was worth it. It was good to have someone warm nearby after completing a dirty job, and the retirement swag from this case would go toward getting her a partner.
Who's the best dog in the whole world?
Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Here you go, baby. Dinner time.
Run sitter crime scene.
¿Cómo podré ver la cara? Ok, aquí quizá. Ah.
Zubin was the first Nexus 6 I'd come up against. There was something in his eyes, an almost primordial desire to live. Most of the 3s, 4s, and 5s I'd seen would just give up when you had them. But these 6s, they were a whole other breed. Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for 2 very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other...
Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at some others. Sloppy cuts with a knife, like the perp was really pissed off at something.
Howie Lees. Bryant once got food poisoning there, so he shut it down for a couple of months. Now it was always good for a freebie. Howie Lees. Bryant once got food poisoning there, so he shut it down for a couple of months. Now it was always good for a freebie. Messages. I'm in demand.
The Tyrell Corporation today recalled the last 4 functioning entertainment model Nexus 5 replicants from off-world service. Dr. Eldon Tyrell, speaking at a shareholders meeting, denied allegations that the model was defective and possibly dangerous.
The simple fact is that the model wasn't performing its designated function. There was one isolated incident of violence a couple of years ago, but the individual unit in question was immediately retired from service. No, the problem is far from anything sinister. The entertainment model just isn't funny.
Hay saludos al protocolo que está en el chat.
Portrait of the sleep-deprived.
Got your delivery here, man.
What?
Kingston Kitchen.
Oh, yes, right. Hold on.
Is this what the gravity be like on Mars?
Oh, no. It's about a third of what we got here on Terra. Real comfy. How about turning that dial, okay? When I say... Oh!
Please,
Can you control your wrath?
I'll have you know that Ricky's a purebred Chihuahua, and he's totally real.
Things going good at Tyrell Corporation?
Boring, boring. Old man Tyrell's been on a Wagner kick lately. He never shuts up.
You also do outside work?
Sweetie, I never go outside. It's bad for the glands.
How about Nexus 6? You know a lot about them?
I think you should be going now.
Understand good, it holds deep meaning for me now. Where be your research on Nexus 6? And your test studies, contacts, the works?
Only simulator. Extraterrestrial gravity.
One more minute, you be swallowing this explosive. 3 more minutes, they be hosing you off the True Life building across town.
No, I swear. I don't have anything. If I did, I'd give it to you.
My people sick and dying. You tell me something.
Talk to Dr. Tyrell.
Tell me something I don't know.
The organ designers, Miraji, Hannibal Chu, Luther and Lance. They're closer to him than I am.
Where?
DNA Row. They're all working down on DNA Row.
You one miserable package man.
No! No, please, don't!
Pick up.
Hope you aren't camped out there with a bottle of tequila.
Very funny.
Early bird slays the worm, McCoy.
Don't worry, I'm up, Lieutenant. What's the buzz?
One of Tyrell's employees got his fat face splattered all over the marble interior of the Tyrell building.
Inside?
That's right. But we also got a sweet little breakout. Tyrell's surveillance system recorded the whole shebang.
Beautiful. How many perps?
Just one. I don't know if it's related to the Runciter deal or not. Tyrell security will have the disc for you when you get there. You'll be good, killer.
Otro día, otro Nexus.
Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Maggie, come here, girl. Good doggy.
Your floor number, please.
Ground floor.
Your floor number, please.
Apartments. Roof.
McCoy, LPD.
Just a minute.
Where do I go?
Grav test on the east wing, 66th floor. Here's the footage from the security cameras. You get a pretty good look at the man's face.
How'd he get past you guys?
He pretended to be a delivery man. Dr. Eisenduller ordered in a lot, so it didn't seem unusual.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.
It was a Tyrell sales brochure for the Nexus series, the kind of glossy hype that ends up littering the floor at trade shows. This one was for the new entertainment model, a comedian designed to entertain the troops off-world. The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Animoid Row. Jesus.
I seen worse, but not by much.
Learn anything?
You could strain him through a sieve.
I'd seen more dead animals than live ones in the last 24 hours, and now it was dogs. 3 of them. I thought about Maggie and nearly threw up. I'd seen more dead animals, and now I thought about a takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? Obviously, he'd been killed with an explosive, and not just because he'd been plastered on the wall with 1,000 strokes. The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story. The killer was an expert. The charge had been big enough to do the job, but not big enough to shatter the soundproof walls of the float chamber. But I wondered why the killer didn't just shoot him. Disgusting. Disgusting. This earring yours?
Maybe it belonged to that other cop who was up here. The babe with the shades and the cigarettes.
Ain't her style. Call her babe to her face, you're liable to end up with a severe limp. You spot anything you think I ought to know about, tell me.
Absolutely.
You spot anything you think I ought to know about, tell me.
Absolutely.
Lagging behind again?
Guza didn't say anything about me working with a partner.
Oh, in a pig's ass, Slim. No, I'm following up on my own. Could be it's linked to this Tyrell debacle.
How's yours connected to mine?
I'm still fitting the pieces together. You know the moon bus massacre that went down last month?
Gaff mentioned something about it.
The rogue skin jobs probably flew to Earth. And one of them is a demolitions expert, similar MO to your Vic upstairs.
Hell of a coincidence.
I'll call you if I find out anything more about your case.
You friendly with Eisendeller?
Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus, Dr. Eisendeller, he almost never left his lab.
He afraid of somebody?
I think it had something to do with the air outside, and the germs. I once heard him complain about it.
Smart. What was his job?
Grub test chief engineer. The lab runs tests to see how a replicant would perform in different planetary gravitational fields. That kind of thing. One of the other engineers could tell you more.
How do I get in to see the big boss?
You don't, unless he wants to see you.
Okay. How do I make him want to see me?
Well, you could call his personal assistant.
Who is?
Don't know offhand.
Yeah, I get the picture. You know if anyone lost an earring like this one lately?
Not one of the employees, that's for sure. The boss enforces a strict dress code around here.
How did Eisendeller's moo-moo fit in?
Hey, you know, company rules only apply to the lesser mortals.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.
Ông đó đang nhìn mình.
Laboratory. Mainframe and ground floor. Mainframe and shooting range.
The Tyrell Corporation today recalled the last 4 functioning entertainment model Nexus 5 replicants from off-world service. Dr. Eldon Tyrell, speaking at a shareholders meeting, denied allegations that the model was defective and possibly dangerous.
The simple fact is that the model wasn't performing its designated function. There was one isolated incident of violence a couple of years ago, but the individual unit in question was immediately retired from service.
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete.
Describe them for me again.
There was that Rastafarian fellow, and one of our ex-members showed up.
Who's that?
A Japanese man named Izo.
Why'd you get rid of him?
We're a pacifist organization, and we have rules. One of them is no weapons allowed. Izo refused to check in a samurai sword at the door during meetings.
Where can I find this Izo?
He owns one of those little secondhand stores downtown.
Let me ask you a question. Who the hell bankrolls your operation?
Well, we have a number of anonymous donors, people with resources and sources.
Such as?
So anonymous, even I don't know who they are.
I almost believe you. Oh, in a pig's ass, Slim. No, I'm following up on my own. You know the Moonbus massacre that...
The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story. The killer was an expert. The charge had been big enough to do the job, but not big enough to shatter the soundproof walls of the float chamber. But I wondered why the killer didn't just shoot him. The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Animoid Row.
Describe them for me again.
There was that Rastafarian fellow, and one of our ex-members showed up.
Who's that?
A Japanese man named...
Kingston Kitchens. Where have I heard that before?
Scanning video disk. One enhanceable image found. Adding enhanceable photographs to Kaya database. Tyrell Grav Test Lab.
The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Animoid Row. Give me a hard copy of that.
Este no es el mismo que maté.
Mainframe and shooting range. Ground floor.
Hey, you killed anyone yet? Hey, You killed anyone yet?
We get a new weapons shipment?
Ground floor, mainframe and shooting range. Laboratory, mainframe and shooting range.
We get a new weapons shipment?
Yeah, Guzza requisitioned a couple of cases for the assault teams.
Let me guess. He's planning on taking out a small city.
Lieutenant's a big believer in overkill.
I've gotten all I can from that. That weapons shipment just came in. You got the paperwork handy?
Why? You got a pressing need to rummage through my private files?
Yeah, I forgot you were keeping your lacy underthings in there. Look, Jack, I just want to see what they're charging for a crate of rifles these days.
Too damn much if you ask me, especially at the rate the assault teams are losing them. I guess there ain't no harm in it.
You keeping busy, pal?
Nah, the place...
I've gotten all I can.
I checked with UN Air. Looks your rep swung that moonbus massacre last month.
They ever find the moon bus?
Disappeared into thin air. Brian thinks it crashed out in the Kipple.
Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus,
It was a Tyrell sales brochure for the Nexus series. The kind of glossy hype that ends up littering the floor. Howie Lee's. Bryant once got food. Howie... Big caliber, possibly off-world combat weaponry. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe?
Mainframe and shooting range.
You know who deals in insects down here?
You don't want insects? They're no good companion. But fish. Fish are good. I have every kind of fish for you. Blowfish, dorado, miniature sailfish. Very friendly.
No thanks. I got a dog at home.
Fish just as good as dog.
No, my dog is real.
Real? Oh, you must make lots of money.
Let's get back to insects. Official LPD business.
Ah, down at end of Animal Row, you see big green sign? You try there. Good luck with dog, friend. Hope he stays healthy.
She. McCoy, LPD.
Ông đó đang nhìn mình.
Hey, you. McCoy, LPD.
Un momento, ahí vengo.
Nice-looking creatures you have around here.
See? Good product. Scorpions, my best work. Finest quality, even poison.
Isn't that illegal?
I have permit, senor. My customers demand authenticity.
This your work?
Ah, the dragon.
Dragon?
See? Anosoptera. Dragonfly late of the American South Swampland.
You sell jewelry with dragonflies?
Item like that, very special significance. Very rare, senor. Estate item, and most likely part of large collection. Person must have plenteous money to obtain a collection.
More than I can afford.
You try Hawker's Circle. Might want to trade for this. With luck, you may find.
If this is from a collection, I'm also looking for the other pieces.
I make you a deal. I found out where to get dragonfly jewelry. Then you buy a piece, right? For special lady friend? You come back later.
I'll do that.
You take care, chasing the dragon.
Might I interest you in a snake, noble one?
Not today, thanks. You know anything about insects?
I regret that I do not, noble one, save that I feed them to my snakes.
You do what?
Artificial ones, of course. The safeguards in the design of my snakes would not allow them to swallow a real insect.
I assume that this insect is already extinct.
They all died after the war, yes.
So the fakes must be pretty expensive.
If bought in bulk, the price is acceptable. They do not need to eat them, of course, but the added realism is worth every penny. Have you ever seen such craftsmanship?
Right now, I'm more interested in the insect.
Perhaps you should ask the Peruvian woman next door. She's an expert on such things, and will cut a wonderful deal to friends.
I need to ask you...
Certainly the LPD must have better things to do than to question a humble merchant over and over again about the same things. Why aren't you out arresting criminals like that disreputable Bob fellow?
Bob?
He owns the armament shop up the street. He's insane, number one, insane. He takes peculiar pleasure in agitating all the vendors around here. I cannot even go out for a Cisco whoop without worrying whether Bob is going to sabotage my snakes.
Thanks for your time. Does this badge mean anything to you?
That a 45 blaster under your coat, or you just happy to be here?
You got good eyes.
They ought to be. They're the only organs of mine that survived the Phobos Wars intact.
Ray McCoy, Rep Detect.
Blade Runner, huh? How come I never heard of you?
I just got assigned.
Yeah, I'm kind of buddies with Davy Holden. How's he doing?
Word is he's gonna be okay.
That skin job must have been pretty damn quick getting by Davy like that. He's the best in the business.
He'll be back on the job soon. You sell any off-world stuff? Like Ender rifles?
Nah, I ain't seen anything like that in years. Wish I had one, though. The Ender was a real workhorse. Good stopping power, decent rate of fire. You looking? Gonna cost you a bundle, I'm afraid.
Not really. Somebody shot up Runsiter's shop with one.
Sucker had it coming. I'm sure of that.
Why's that?
Runsiter's always putting on those airs like he's better than everybody else. But he'll do anything for a buck. Sell anything to anybody. That's where I draw the line. If it's suspicious, it's out of here. Got no place at Bullet Bob's.
You know anyone who might sell Ender rifles?
There's one other guy around here who dips into that stuff. Got a pawn shop down the street. Goes by the name of Ezo. But who knows what the real title is.
Ezo, huh? Sounds like you don't like him.
Ezo's okay. He's run the green pawn for a while. We're friendly competitors, I guess.
Green pawn.
But I don't appreciate his politics.
Yeah?
Rumors, that's all they are. I was out there, Ray. I did my time. 3.5 years worth. And I can tell you, Rep's got no business being down here on Earth, okay?
Yeah. Earth don't deserve them.
Tell me about it. We got standards to uphold down here.
I hear you've been waving guns around on Anemoid Row.
Who's been telling you that crap? That lying Egyptian snake oil salesman?
Hassan?
That's the one. I should have popped him when I had the chance. You want to know what really happened? I wanted to get my daughter a present for her birthday, right? I bought an iguana from that crook Hassan. And the damn thing ran out of juice just 2 days after I plucked down a shitload of Chinyan. Son of a bitch wouldn't give me a refund. So I threatened to burn down his shop.
Sometimes you just gotta be philosophical about these things.
That's exactly what my wife says. I heard of you.
Is that right?
You ain't done much.
I just got assigned.
Guys like you get hurt real easy.
Meaning what, exactly?
It ain't like you're a real Blade Runner. Not like Steel or Gaff.
They get hurt sometimes, too. It's a dangerous business. Jesus. You got any decent ammo for my piece?
You mean the good stuff? 'Cause I know them police-issue spitballs just don't cut it.
Not these days.
Yeah, I know how it is. If you want to drop a skin job, you need a little extra oomph.
I got a few clips around here somewhere. If you got the chin yen for it.
Okay, let's have it.
Este es el dinero. 2.40 quedan.
How'd you feel about taking a little test?
You mean the Voight Kampf? You come into my shop and you want to VK me?
Relax, I just...
It's funny. You thinking I'm a rep. Set up the test. We'll see what's what around here.
What's your name?
Bob Gorski. This ain't no different than the DMV.
Just a sec. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a large black spider crawling up the wall.
Where? They're worth a mint, even with only half their legs.
It's just hypothetical.
Hyper what?
There's no spider.
Well, why did you say so then?
A man dressed in rags approaches you on the street and asks for money.
I tell him to get a job. Ain't he heard there's a labor shortage around here?
You're at a restaurant with friends. One of them orders lobster. The chef drops the lobster into the tub of boiling water while you watch.
I kicked the crap out of the sicko.
You're 7 years old. You manage to steal several marshmallows from the kitchen and sneak them back to your bedroom. You're caught and your father spanks you.
Good for him.
Using the first words that come into your mind, describe your childhood.
Peaceful.
Really?
Sure, once I took the axe to my ma. Joke, that's a joke. Boy, you should have seen your face.
Are you taking any drugs?
Hey, I get tested every week.
Describe in single words only the good things that come into your mind about your mother.
Nah, lightweight. She was easy to carry.
You're on a farm. You get into the pen to feed the pigs. In their excitement, the animals knock you down into the mud. Using a butcher knife, you slit the throat of the nearest sow. You're covered in blood as you stumble to your feet.
Now why the hell would I do something like that?
You tell me.
No way. I served my time. I've opened men up from belly to throat. But butchering animals? This test ain't right.
Your child comes home with a black eye.
Badge of honor. He's a good kid. Everyone's got to get bloodied sometimes.
You're suddenly very afraid. Why?
Must be the stuffed animals again. Yeah, they're freaky. They're like animals, but they got stuff in them.
Test terminated.
So that's it?
Yeah?
Since you didn't shoot me, I must have registered okay.
Yeah, it was touch and go there for a while.
Well, you know, I think about skin jobs all the time. Try to get into their heads. Maybe that's what the deal is.
Thanks for your time.
Cái đồ ăn ở đó rất là ngon. Cái đồ ăn
McCoy, LPD.
الزلمة هذا عشان بتطلع؟ يعني جابي بحكي المركز وين؟
Tôi rất mong mắt anh mang nạn nhân.
Step up, step up. Mama Isabella cook you something special. Put a glow in your cheek.
McCoy, LPD. Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Questions? They always need answers.
يعني جابي بحكي الزلمة هذا عشان بتطلع؟
You send a lot of deliveries over to Marcus Eisenduller at the Tyrell building?
Eisenduller. Oh, Eisenduller, yeah. Let me tell you, that man can't eat.
Send anything over lately?
No, sir. No deliveries to him no more. Not since last month. He be way behind on his bill.
Not for a month, eh?
At least. No more till him pay up.
You may have a little trouble collecting. He's dead. That stew's looking tasty.
Fix you right up. Only dirty chinion. It put a spring in your step, man. The ladies, they be loving you.
المركز وين؟ يعني جابي بحكي
Tôi rất mong mắt anh mang nạn nhân.
This guy work for you?
No, but I wish he do. He be one fine-looking man.
You sure? Never seen him before.
I'd remembered him for sure.
Đồ ăn ở đó rất là ngon.
Thanks for your time.
Ông đó đang nhìn mình.
Does this badge mean anything to you? I got a couple of questions for you, Captain.
First one's on the house. The rest you pay for. You want chit-chat, you hire a hooker. This ain't no social club.
Pour me one.
Just one?
One, but one good one.
Ông đó đang nhìn mình.
Pour me one.
Just one?
One, but one good one.
Ông đó đang nhìn mình.
You got anything that's a match for these? I need to ask you.
Two minutes. That's how much time I give every stranger that wanders in here off the street.
Sell a lot of stuff that way?
I don't encourage browsers. What impresses me are people who know what they want and are not afraid to pay for it.
What's the most expensive thing you got in here?
Value is a relative notion. What's significant to you might be meaningless to me.
And vice versa.
Everything here is guaranteed. The finest, most authentic anyone can get.
Let me tell you what I want, and maybe I'll impress you.
All my paperwork is in order.
Doesn't matter. I don't read anyhow. What's your name?
Easy.
How about off-world assault weapons? You got anything that's a match for these?
I don't deal in anything from the off-world. Much too hard to authenticate.
A man of your expertise could probably tell, though.
I don't even like to have them in here. My friend Shoshana Yuri picked up the EOS plate from some gunner's space helmet. He was vomiting blood for days.
What?
Hey. Ray McCoy, Rep Detect. Ever consort with a group called CARS, C-A-R-S?
CARS. What is that?
Citizens Against Replicant Slavery.
I don't have time for such pursuits.
How about Spencer Gregorian?
The same goes for him, whoever he is.
Funny, because he described you to a T. Even down to that stupid little ponytail you got.
It's called a chomagi.
What would you say if I told you Gregorian named you as one of the people who was there when the Tyrell building blew up?
There's a mistake somewhere along the chain of communication.
So, you're denying all involvement?
I won't lie to you, Detective. There was a time in my life when I might have been involved in such an organization. I actually cared. But now, all I care about is my business. I am nothing but a humble salesman. Perhaps I can interest you in this camera. 100 years ago, it was a cherished item. Whole families sat for portraits.
I've seen plenty of photographs in my time.
Have you ever seen this?
Locked. That's impossible.
I am not about to have all my hard work obliterated just because you stumbled into my shop, Detective. Westerners need guns and hardware. All I need is will.
Freeze, Yoshi!
Easy.
Whatever. Been keeping yourself busy?
I'll be out of lockup within the hour.
Your little skin job friend's gonna take up a collection to bail you out, or you got it saved up?
Maybe I got friends in high places.
Yeah, and if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. What are you doing here, Slim?
I was gonna ask you the same thing.
I've been tracking this boy for a week. He thinks he's pretty clever. He's a material witness in a case I'm working. In fact, your best buddy's a replicant, isn't he? The big guy with the dreadlocks. What's his name again?
Hallucinate often?
That's okay. You'll be giving him up to me soon enough. I can handle it from here, Slim. Why don't you go buy yourself a lollipop? Something else to suck on.
Very clever.
But I wasn't trying to be.
Anh sao là một tuần nữa?
Ông đó đang nhìn mình.
الزلمة هذا شو عم بتطلع؟ أي ساعة لازم تكون هناك؟
Xin hỏi
There were off-world rifles here and more. Grenades, explosives, modern rifles, even some police-issue restricted weaponry. Ezo wasn't some small-time fence, but a big-time arms dealer. The exact arms that renegade replicants would be looking for to survive in the big city. Nothing else there. Nothing else there. That's impossible. That's impossible. Excuse me, pal.
Handsome man like you has lady friend, of course.
All my girl cares about is food and love.
Oh, how romantic. What is this girl's name?
Maggie.
Maggie. Ah, Maggie, senor. It's perfect, is it not?
kinda ugly, but you talked me into it. You hear anything yet about that dragonfly jewelry, like what I showed you before?
No, senor. My friend, he's asking for me. If you come back later, maybe I know something more.
Thanks for your time. I was fresh out of Leeds. Poking around Hawker's circle had been a waste of time. I had nothing to connect this Ezo character to the Eisendaler murder. But if the replicants had done in one Tyrell scientist, maybe they'd go after another. And the subcontractors down on DNA Row didn't have Tyrell's security to protect them.
Hay que ir ahí a DNA Row.
Hey, pal.
What's shaking, baby? Haven't I seen you around these parts before?
Could be. I get around.
You ever get down to Nightclub Row, you ought to check out my act. I'm just warming up the room, but it's better than a kick in the pants, you dig?
What kind of stuff do you do?
What kind of... You kidding, baby? I do it all! I am the direct extension of Frankie, Sammy D, and Dino Martini.
Who?
Man, you really must be dozing in Squaresville if you're asking who the voice is. You know, old Blue Eyes. The chairman of the board? Sinatra, man.
The guy's been dead for 20 years.
Well, you're gonna remember the name Gordo Frizz just like old Blue Eyes. I ain't on the Marquis of Early's just yet, but it's coming, I promise you.
You seen any suspicious-looking people around here?
Hell no. I mean, a lot of wackos cool their heels down here, but they're anything but suspicious.
Hey.
Go home and get some rest. I'm sure you need it.
Hey.
You killed anyone yet?
What you want? I'm busy.
Excuse me.
Deliveries to where?
LPD, I got a couple of questions.
Talk, always talk. You wait, you no take up time. Busy.
Marcus Eisendaler is dead.
Okay, we talk. Quick, come. What you want?
You were close to Eisendaler?
Eisendaler? no time for him. No go to lab. Eisendaler test off-world gravity to work important organs. Visual center, you see?
Marcus is dead.
You work hard all night, all day, no stop, no break, no OT.
Did you hear me?
Of course I hear you. You think I'm deaf? Your time more important, huh? Eisendaler dead. Maraji may be dead. You out chasing skirts.
Maraji?
You eat supper with Maraji every night, no fail. Sometimes Chinese, sometimes Indian, sometimes home cooked. Sometimes we go up and eat with twins.
Maraji didn't show. Did you call him?
Call? I knocked. 10 minutes ago, door locked. No answer. Where you come from, huh?
What?
Nothing.
Tell me this.
Hey, wait. LPT, you there for something, huh? LPT? I'm very busy. Eyes won't wait for nothing.
Tell me this.
Hey, wait, I've had a bit.
What's going on? Who did this?
Help me, sir. Please, help me. It is going to blow.
What's behind that door there?
Are you crazy? That's a bomb on the chair. Run! Run!
Joder. ¿Qué fue todo eso? ¿Morí?
Your floor number, please.
Roof.
Sí, morí, me regresó al inicio del capítulo. Aquí le voy a parar.